Denny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
You know the vibes, we back.
I know you're very happy, man. Your Brooklyn Nets are in playoff mode. They're in the play-in scenario. At least they're in there. So I know at the very beginning of the season, we had the finals predictions, who was going to be in the conference finals, all that. Me, you, and Samara, I think we all had Lakers and Brooklyn in the finals.
Barring injuries.
The Lakers will not be in the finals because they're not even in the playoffs, even the playoff play-in scenario. A very weird up and down season for them. We'll talk about that in a second. You're the Brooklyn Net guy. NBA Finals is still hanging for your prediction and mine as well. So yeah, man. So talk about how your team is looking. Kyrie is back playing on the road and home games. We haven't done the show in quite some time, so things have changed a little bit. So Kyrie's available to play every single game. Not sure about Toronto if they play Toronto, but right now they stand at number 8 in the Eastern Conference. That puts them in the playoff playing game scenario. When you get Kyrie, you get KD, everybody healthy. Ben Simmons ain't playing no time soon. Do you still feel as confident that this team right now can make it to the NBA Finals? And if not, do you think this year is a failure of a season? I don't think so, but what do you think?
It's great to be back. I love you. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate you. Guys, you see, it started up a little. We had a lot of predictions, a lot of conversations about where teams should have gone. So with the Nets, start off with James Harden.
Yeah.
Got rid of him.
He's in Philly.
Got Ben Simmons.
He ain't played yet.
Got Andre Drummond.
Playing very well.
Got Seth Curry.
Very well.
And it's just a matter of time before they start gelling. Can a team in the East beat this team in a 7-game series? Absolutely. However, it's all about matchups, and right now you said the Nets are 8th.
They're 8th.
From what I'm looking at right now, Miami Heat's number 1.
Correct. And we've had conversations in the past. Things go in cycles. One week is you tell me, listen, man, I don't want to see Chicago. Then the following week is I don't want to see the Bucks.
Chicago,
I don't want to see Miami.
See, don't be disrespectful. See, those weeks I would be talking about them. See, the Bulls were at 2 at one point.
Yes.
Now they're 6. And I told you about Miami. Now you look at the Celtics being there, and obviously the Bucks. But the Bulls obviously dropped to 6. And do you think the Heat wants to see the Nets in the first round?
They Brooklyn blew out Miami by like 20 plus last week in Miami.
I want you guys to understand something. I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons, but I hope that they solve this problem this year and not next. Because the question is this year a waste? I mean, Kyrie fought the man and won. He fought the man and won. He put his heels down and said, "I'm not getting a COVID vaccination." And,
right. No, not a waste. I think people out there are gonna say, "Oh, it's a failure. They don't get to the final." I don't think so because there's a lot of things going on. KD got hurt, Kyrie situation, Ben Simmons stuff, Harden scenario. So to be a failure that they don't get to the finals, I would say no.
At least they're right. At least they're right there. Unlike the Lakers.
Bro, the Lakers are again injuries and this and that, but they just never got it together.
Even with the injuries, I think Frank Vogel was, it was a lot of.
They never got it together. They did not have an identity all season.
Well, here's the question: Who is pulling the strings? Is it LeBron? Is it Jeannie Buss? Is it Rob Pelinka? Is it Frank Vogel? Because if you don't have an answer to that, clearly the first 25 games of the season we saw obviously AD hurt, blasey blah, blasey blah. Further into the season, you saw
Mhm.
what Westbrook was giving you. Some of these lineups that I seen,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on with these lineups? Why are you starting this person? Why are you starting that person? And can someone tell me what happened with Nunn?
He's had like a bone bruise for like the whole year, and that shit never healed.
I've never seen anything like it.
Uh,
When you put a team on paper, the next thing you know, they're not even half the team is there. Half the
yeah.
team. So if it's true, and I say this with a big IF, if it's true that LeBron had a choice between DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook, and he chose Russell, that's a big mistake.
I mean, we don't know. That's the rumors you hear, and
If
but then there's a rumor. There's rumors that DeRozan sold the Lakers that he saw them as like not really knowing what they wanted to do and direction. So
I thought I read something in terms of DeMar out his own mouth said, I was ready to go to LA. It was just a matter of a conversation and a little bit more money. That's what I heard from
bro,
DeMar.
there's rumors all over the place.
Magic said something to that effect as well, just recently. Am I going crazy?
I mean, yeah, but then Magic can put a tweet out saying, "Oh, we got Russell Westbrook. We are a championship team." So it just up and down. Bottom line is no playoffs. LeBron,
Boo.
it's gonna be a little weird not having LeBron in the playoffs. I think the fourth time ever he's never made the playoffs. I mean, to not even be in a play-in. I mean, you're not even top 10 in the Western Conference. But in the play-in scenario, you have the Pelicans without Zion. You have San Antonio, who's a up and coming team with Murray. You have the Clippers and a nice upstart Minnesota Timberwolves, which I have no problem seeing in the playoffs.
There's no reason why with LeBron James, the Spurs, the Pelicans, and the Clippers are better. I understand why the Timberwolves are there, even with Cat.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
Clippers haven't had Paul George all year, neither Kawhi. Yet they're 8th.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's glaring.
But who's coaching the Clippers?
Ty Lue.
Yeah. Who's coaching San Antonio?
Greg Popovich.
And who's coaching the Pelicans?
Who is coaching the Pelicans?
Go look it up. Go look it up.
Coach of the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Lily Green.
Okay. Are we gonna say that Frank Vogel can't outcoach Willie Green to be a top 10 team in the Western Conference when you have three of the top 75 best players of all time? I know.
No, you can't because you have your handcuffed because Westbrook has to play a certain amount of minutes. You're handcuffed. I think the same thing happened with the New York Knicks with Evan Fournier. Like, yeah, he's making $70 million, so you want to force feed his minutes, but no. If the player is not playing up to his potential or up to what the team needs, you got to sit him and play somebody else.
And hey, no playoffs for my Knicks either. So we're kind of in the same boat with Laker fans. But I think a higher expectation was for the Lakers to be somewhere in the playoffs, conference finals, NBA finals. And I can't get you in the top 10. You know the record after the All-Star break?
4 and like
17. You know who has a better record after All-Star break than the Lakers?
I think Atlanta.
Portland. And there's no Dame. They gave up CJ, and
there's the G League over there. Listen,
there's no reason why Portland's playing better than the Lakers.
Your Knicks should be 10 more games better at least 15 games better
we
than
keep giving up 20-point margin of victory and leads.
I spoke to you at the halfway mark of the season. I told you your boy Tibbs is causing your boy Tibbs with his rotations and not playing the young boys. There were some games that you could have won, and now obviously he's playing.
But now he is. Now he wants to play him.
Again, I am on record, if I'm not mistaken, on record going against my man MSG, Anthony MSG.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, yo, your coaching is suspect, big bro. He's like, oh, no. I said, yo, bro, I need more Deuce. I need more Obi. I need more RJ. I need more Sims. Yeah. I said, I need more activity.
Sims, Grimes, Obi, quickly, RJ.
I need a lot of that.
Mitchell.
And once he started adding more of that to the mix, guess what happened? RJ said it best. He said, we can lose. It's how we lose. If we play hard and give effort, the fans will love you.
Right.
That's it. But you're if you're not on the floor and you're sitting on the sidelines, like, yo, why is Obi sitting on the sidelines? So yeah, the Knicks could have won. I mean, right now, wait, where are we at? Where we at?
We're like 12,
about 35 and 44. So you could have been 500 easily. 44 and 40, whatever the case may be. Y'all could have been 500 easily.
And look, when you give Obi 30, 35 minutes a game, look at the production you get.
Yeah, he's always a plus. His plus minus is always off the chart because you have to understand what he brings to the table. Not only can he guard a bunch of positions, he's starting to get his three, starting to shoot the three better. He's starting to know where to go on offense and defense. But when it's all said and done, it's going to be a very interesting playoffs because I don't know who's going to come out of either side. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's circle back. You're the Brooklyn Net guy. Few games left to go in the season. Durant's healthy. Kyrie is healthy. I'm pretty sure you're going to get back the Blakes and Aldridge and all those guys. Like I said, 1 month you feared Chicago, 1 month you feared Milwaukee, 1 month you feared Miami. As of right now, do you feel is there a team you feel like, man, like if I get them in the first round, it's gonna be tough for Brooklyn the way it is, the way it's structured. They got to get out the playing game, which I think they will, and they're gonna get either Miami or I think Milwaukee in the first round. Some shit like that. Are you afraid of Milwaukee right now? Are you afraid of Miami right now? You feel like, you know what? We're good. We're healthy. I don't care who we got in front of in my face. BK is going to beat Miami. He's going to beat Milwaukee. How do you feel right now? How confident do you feel?
I want to be on record to say that the Nets will not make the Eastern Conference Finals without Ben Simmons.
Will not make the conference finals. Even with KD and Kyrie, they won't make the conference for 2 years in a row. No conference finals.
No, and then you want me to answer the question directly. I like Milwaukee, man.
Milwaukee's tough. They're not being spoke about as much as a defending champion. I get the Miamis and the Phillies and at one point Chicago, but Milwaukee is still healthy and defending champions.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question, Randy.
All right.
Did you watch WrestleMania?
Yeah.
That's not the question.
Okay.
My question is, why isn't Giannis your MVP?
You mean like my MVP, or why he's not being spoke about as an MVP? Like,
I pose it like that. Why isn't he your MVP? Meaning, explain to me why he isn't the MVP, and if he isn't, who is?
MVP is gonna go to either a Giannis, Jokic, Embiid. I think the one guy people are missing is Devin Booker in that equation, being the top seed team, 25 a game. But I think if people are looking at the elevation of Joel Embiid's game, even without a Ben Simmons and putting up MVP numbers, they're probably a third or fourth seed at the moment. Joker had no Michael Porter Jr. and no Murray for the whole season and still puts up those kind of numbers. He could win it. And Giannis is not being in that talk like that because maybe people are just tired of him winning the fucking MVP award.
Can you please put your flag on someone right now? Okay, let me help you.
I can't.
No, you can. Let me help you.
Okay, help me decide an MVP right now.
There you go. Let me help you. First and foremost,
who is your MVP right now?
Goddamn right. Mother son of the compo freak. Okay.
2 months ago, you said Chris Paul.
2 months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago. So now it's Giannis. Now you got Giannis.
You asked me why. You asked me who's my MVP. Okay. I tell you Giannis. Let me tell you why it's Giannis. Number one, Giannis can guard 5 positions.
Right.
Number two, he's no longer a liability in the mid-range. Number 3, he's no longer a liability from free throw. Number 4, he's already won a championship. He knows what it takes to get there.
Right.
Number 5, the team he plays on knows where the ball needs to go, when it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, he may win Defensive Player of the Year. Number 7, all the bigs he's defended and gone up against has been either put in his pocket, he's dominated, or he's evened out. So, for example, he played AD early in the season. Anthony Davis before he got hurt. Sweet baby Jesus.
What? Destroyed him?
Giannis put him in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Then fast forward to this last couple of games with the Nets and with Philly. He said, let's foul him when he played against the Nets. Let's foul him. Shot like 15 for 17 from the free throw line. Then he's giving you what, like 30, 35, 14, and like 8.
30, 12, and 6, and 1 steal, 1 block.
Okay.
That's Giannis.
Okay. Then, so
and they are third in the Eastern Conference. Wow. Boston second? That's crazy.
Very crazy. I'll get to them in a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have Giannis hitting free throws. You have Giannis hitting 3-point shots to tie games. To tie games. Not to tie games, okay? Then you have him going up against Embiid and evens him out. Like I said, if Giannis is going to score 40, you score 40, evens it out.
Yeah. And like even if you go by seedings right now, Milwaukee's 3rd, Philly is like 4th or 5th, and Denver is not even top 4 or 5. So
once again, tell me why Giannis isn't your MVP. Once again, he may win. He may win MVP. And if he does this, listen to me very carefully, boys and girls. I'm about to say something. What if Giannis won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, a championship, and Finals MVP?
Has that been done before?
I'm going to have to do my research and get back to you on that. I don't know.
Okay, so while you do your research, and by next week, tell me why Devin Booker is not MVP. Or not in the conversation.
Devin Booker is not my MVP. He's in the conversation. He's about 4th down.
Okay.
Behind Giannis, Embiid, and Joker. And that's fair. Even though he's on the number 1 team in the West. He is a number one team in the West, but you have
and the whole NBA, not just the Western Conference, the whole
NBA.
entire NBA.
But you have DeAndre, and then you had half a season of Chris Paul.
And I get 27, 5 and 5 a game.
Yeah, it's light. It's not Giannis numbers.
Of course, it's not Giannis numbers, but
it's not Giannis numbers. But again, it doesn't matter if he's a guard or not, because Steph Curry won MVP too, and his numbers was explosive. So again, I'm giving you a shout out. Book, you tough. I'm not even going front, but you fourth.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Dev, Joel, Jokic, and Giannis.
Just send
if KD was healthy the whole year, we're talking Kevin Durant or even Steph Curry.
100%. But just send the Amazon box with the trophy over to send it over to Giannis and call it a day. There's a 2-day. Just send it 2-day. Prime. Do a Prime. Just send it right over. It's a done deal. Book it. It's why I even have this conversation. The African has a lot to prove, and he's gonna try and defend his title. We'll see. But you mentioned Boston earlier.
Yeah, so like right now, I know it's gonna change by next week, and I know that the play-in starts in about a week and a half. So just to have fun, if the playoffs begin tomorrow, we only have two series to talk about for now. Milwaukee will get Chicago round 1, and Philly will be against Toronto.
Well, I got Philly beating Toronto,
and Milwaukee beating Chicago.
I have Milwaukee beating Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, so and in the Western Conference we have Golden State at number 3, Denver number 6, Dallas number 4 against Utah number 5.
Wow. Dallas being Utah.
You think so?
Dallas is being Utah. You know why?
Well, Luka Magic.
Besides Baby Bird. Besides Baby Bird.
What is it?
Rudy Gobert is he's gonna be tested.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do well with guards, big guards that shoot threes. Rotation.
Yeah. And I like the Dinwiddie pickup too.
Big, huge.
And they got Brunson.
Yeah, they're solid at the guards and on the wings, and they everyone shoots. So, and I'm not worried about our defensive strategy. They got Jason Kidd as a coach.
Yeah.
He won't be afraid to change up a strategy. Go
zone. Kidd, Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, J Kidd won't be afraid, and he is going to attack Rudy Gobert, 1,000%, no question. He's going to tell Luka every time you see Luka, whatever Gobert is, run a pick and roll that way.
And right now in the playing scenario for the West, we mentioned Minnesota, New Orleans, San Antonio, and the Clippers. In the Eastern Conference right now, we have Cleveland, Brooklyn, Atlanta, and Charlotte. So we'll see where they end up.
Yeah.
You mentioned Utah real quick, very interesting because I think rumors are rumors. And last couple of days you read like if Utah can't get out the first round or they don't win a championship, we'll see how far they go. But this could be like the year that Donovan Mitchell says, "Yo, listen, hey, I might want out of Utah."
How many years he got left?
I think it's 2. I don't think it's 3.
He's about to pull James Harden.
Let me see the Mitchell contract. Let's see what happens here.
He's about to pull a James Harden, y'all. See, he's about to pull a James Harden. Woo! Force his way out.
So Donovan Mitchell contract.
About to pull a Ben Simmons.
He's on board for another 1, 2. Wow, 4 more years. Oh, he won't be an unrestricted free agent until 2026.
Run, Donovan, run.
So
force his way out
again. Rumors are rumors. If he wants out, there could be Miami in contention. Obviously, New York is always going to be in contention because of him being a New York kid. I mean, do you see Mitchell leaving Utah anytime soon? I mean, they're in the playoffs every year. I don't think
let me answer that, please.
They don't bolster the roster like as they should for him.
Let me answer that, please.
Right.
I didn't think LeBron was leaving Cleveland the first time. I didn't think Kyrie was leaving Cleveland. I didn't think Paul George was leaving OKC. Bottom line is, I didn't think Kyrie was leaving Boston.
But, LeBron was different. He was a free agent, so that's different. We're talking 4 more years. Is Mitchell going to stay 4 more years in Utah?
Hey, man. Hey, unless you, the concept is to force Utah to force a trade and then speak to some people to see what can happen. Because he's already down for 4 years. Just to play through the contract, baby. You signed it. Play through the contract, baby. Unless you pull a James Harden.
So if you're the Knicks, you got draft picks, you got young guys, and I know you're gonna say, well, how can we get Mitchell but keep RJ Barrett? I think that I don't see that happening. I think if you're gonna get Mitchell, you got to give up RJ Barrett,
or you just give him for all. Listen,
or you're gonna wait 4 years until he's a freaking free agent.
Or you give me four of your. I'll gut your team. Give me Sims, give me Obi, give me quickly for Donovan. Get 4 players for one. That's the only way that's gonna work too. Do a Carmelo.
And I don't think New York does that.
Neither do I. See?
Now, if you say it's centered around RJ Barrett, you got draft picks and some other stuff in there, maybe, but I don't see the Knicks doing another gutting of their roster kind of deal. I think they love the young kids, but I think it has to be for a specific deal. Like obviously, like a Devin Booker, Dame Lillard, Donovan Mitchell type players available, you would do everything you can to at least inquire. But Donovan Mitchell is a multiple-time All-Star, slam dunk champion. He's a franchise in Utah, New York homegrown kid. He ain't getting traded for just no regular draft picks.
Randy, I would trade your left ankle for Donovan Mitchell to come to the Knicks. Your ankle. Just give it away for Donovan to come to the Knicks because you need help. Yeah. I mean, you really need to make the playoffs.
I mean, throw in Randall. You can start with Randall. Hey, I'll give you Randall and some other picks. And
don't start with Randall if you want them to pick up the phone. Why would you do that? Why would you want them to pick up the phone? You start with Obi. You start with Obi, then you throw in quickly, and then you rush off the phone and say Randall, click, and you hang up the phone.
Or you can start with RJ Barrett.
You really want to do that, baby?
No, I'm saying, if I'm Utah, hey, I heard you want Donovan Mitchell. Knicks. Yeah, so we got quickly, we got, Mitchell, whoever it is. So you mean to tell me you want Donovan Mitchell and you're not even going to mention RJ Barrett? That's how it's going to go down. How do you keep, again, I would love to keep RJ on the roster and get Mitchell, but they're going to gut your roster.
Somehow unless you pull a fleece, a Jerry West, somehow they got Kobe to get a Paul Gasol.
The Knicks are tied to everybody. Mitchell, Zion. It's like, all right, you pick who you want in a trade. You're gonna trade people for these guys.
Wishful thinking. Donovan, God bless your 4 years in Utah. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Boop. Boop, boop. That's it.
Yeah. Like I said, the playoffs are around the way. Can't wait for that. Before we wrap up, man, you mentioned Boston. They came out of nowhere after the All-Star break. The number two in the Eastern Conference, number 2 above Philly, which Harden has been okay there. They haven't had that leap that we all thought they were going to have. We knew where Brooklyn was going to be at in that play-in scenario. The Cavaliers have dipped to number 7. Chicago was dipped. No surprise with Miami at number 1. What are some potential matchups you kind of hope come into play? Like as a first round matchup, I gotta see that for West or Eastern Conference.
Just real quick, just to understand something, you have to understand why the East looks the way it is. And you look at the teams. It's coaching.
Yeah.
Heat, Eric Spoelstra, Celtics, Udoka, Bucks, this dude, Coach Bud.
Yeah.
76ers Doc, Raptors Nurse, Bulls Donovan. You look right there. That tells you alone that these coaches still have these players' ears and still getting these players to work really hard during the season.
I got a question for you. Who's your coach of the year?
That's a good question.
I mean, last year was Tibbs, so we're not picking him this year.
I just want to check one more thing. I have an idea who it is. I mean, I can.
I
have an idea.
I got like 2. I think.
It's either between. All right. So yeah. So it's either between Udoka,
Boston.
It's between Udoka and the coach of the Memphis Grizzlies.
So not Monty Williams for Phoenix.
He won last year, no?
Nah, that's what I thought too. But it was Tibbs.
Tibbs won. Goes to the. Sorry. You're right. Monty deserves it this year because Chris Paul has been out for the majority of the year, and they're 63-16.
Yeah. Because we had that convo 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, like, oh, hey, Chris Paul is out. This, you never know. Warriors might creep up.
I called it. I said
Phoenix was.
I said I didn't expect Phoenix to actually do well, and look what happened. My mistake.
Mm-hmm.
When Chris Paul was out, I was like, oh, they're gonna go down. They're gonna go down, and obviously Draymond got hurt, so that kind of took away some sales and things that happened, injuries and so forth. And Dev Book said, "Move out the way. You want some more scoring? I give you that. Want some assists? I give you that. Want me to get some rebounds? I'll increase that too. Want to play defense? I'll do that too. So it's Monty's to lose."
2 more questions. Is Russell Westbrook a Laker next year?
No, he is not.
At the beginning of the year, he's not.
They're not bringing him back.
Oh boy! Listen, we're not of Lakers.
No. We're not. Yeah, there's going to be a whole change of a lineup, but we're not going to allow what they saw that year again on that Lakers floor. Absolutely not. No.
All right. Final question. I know we mentioned about coaching. Obviously, Frank Vogel may not be brought back. I think he won't be brought back. The rumor is that people like Quinn Snyder from Utah and Doc Rivers from Philadelphia could be in the mix to become the Lakers head coach. All this is a rumor. Who would you, if Frank Vogel was not brought back, who would you like to see become the next Lakers head coach? Or at least be in the running for the coach of the Lakers?
LeBron James.
Oh, man. I mean, he did put the team together, and this is what happens.
I want him to be the current Bill Russell, or I want him to be coach, GM, player.
So you don't see Quinn Snyder leaving Utah for the Lakers?
Why would he? No.
I'm just asking, bro.
I'm telling. No, I'm telling that. I'm just saying. No. For what? If I'm Quinn Snyder, why would you leave? No, stay in those mountains of Salt Lake.
Would Doc leave? He's been in LA before.
You gonna leave LA to play with LeBron for 1 year, 2 years, if most, when you have Embiid that can give you 5 years?
Then who else we got?
LeBron James is your new head coach for next year.
Oh
I mean, I got nothing. I mean, yeah, I have nothing. They're gonna ride probably Vogel again. Who knows? Maybe they'll throw some money at Calipari. I don't know. Maybe Coach Krzyzewski. Maybe Coach Krzyzewski give you 2 years just for GP. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Coaching ain't.
I mean, they had 2 people. Tyronn Lue, he went to the Clippers. They had Jay Kidd on the staff. He's with Dallas. You know, I mean, we keep hearing Mark Jackson, but I don't think he's gonna coach. I really don't know who's gonna take that job.
Doris Burke. I mean, at this point, Doris will do a great job too. It's not even a diss to her. Like at this point, we need basketball minds on that bench to get the lineups right, because you know you got people talking about the game on the sideline saying, "Nah, this shouldn't happen. Why aren't you starting this person? Why isn't Monk getting more minutes? Why hasn't Dwight Howard played better? Why hasn't THC played better? Why? What happened to Avery Bradley's game? These questions have to be. Why'd you bring on Trevor Ariza when he can't play? You got all these questions and not enough answers. And some of these games you watch where it's just like no effort, no rotation, and then Russell, and then obviously it goes back to Russell. God bless Russell. He has the answer in his palm of his hands. He just doesn't want to. He has no self accountability. Shaq told him to slow down. He don't want to slow down, man. He don't want to listen to nobody. You know, the coach. I think he's mad at Frank Vogel for benching him early in the season. He's snappy at reporters, bruh. You're not playing the whole season. You haven't played the best of your ability. The numbers show it. The games have shown it. And you were supposed to be the guy that when LeBron went down and AD went down, you were supposed to be the man. You were supposed to be able to carry this team to at least 10 to 15 games by yourself. You could even get Lakers 1. You would be able to play at OKC and even Washington. When you were there, there were games where it was just you and you carried a team at least 3 or 4 games by yourself. Guaranteed. No question. OKC, there were at least 15 games you willed them to win by yourself.
And the one thing that's not going to change is the fact that LeBron is not getting any younger. So that time, that window is closing. It's not officially closed.
He's weird to me too in this aspect. Like he's like, yeah, this is the most fun I've had.
Who, LeBron?
That's what LeBron said.
The most fun he's had.
Very weird. Very weird. I'm just like, not a Kobe response, not a Jordan response. No. I mean, don't get me wrong. You probably saw the roster and was like, you know what, this ain't gonna pan out. So it's just a wash of a year. You know, 80's already been out, but no. Kobe's trying to make the playoffs on a bad leg.
Yeah.
You want to throw the season away. They're like, yo, Kobe, yeah, we're 8 games out. Kobe's like, I'm playing all 8. I'm playing all 8. And if I have to crawl through all 8, I'm going to play all 8. And
so you're saying LeBron should have played the last couple of games to give his team a chance to be in the playoffs? Yeah, that's what you're saying. I mean, I don't know how hurt he was. For you not to play in that game, knowing your playoff life is on the line, you've got to be really hurt, injured, right?
Again. Stop talking to me about GOAT. Don't talk to me about that. Don't talk to me about that.
You know me. I'm on Mike. I'm on Mike's
side. Do not put your filthy lips together. Your filthy, disgusting, unbrushed lips together to tell me that LeBron James is a GOAT. No, he's not.
I mean, he's a GOAT. Come on, bro. We're not doing all that.
I'm
not saying he's the GOAT. That's not talking about he's not one of.
To clarify, in the event that there's a miscommunication,
he's one of the GOATs.
LeBron James is one of the GOATs.
Correct.
He's not the GOAT.
Okay, and I agree. I'm on the side of Michael Jordan as the GOAT.
Listen, I don't mind you guys 1A, 1B. If you want to go Jordan, Kobe, I have no problem with that. Because you have to appreciate when you talk about GOAT, this is a person, an image, a being who never takes time off, plays through injury, and is going to give you, he's going to pour everything out to the last drop. It's going to be empty.
Right.
That's a GOAT to me.
And that's how we're going to end it on that note. Sir Denny Blanco on both IG and Twitter, at Randy J. Cruz on Twitter and IG. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Also on ballislife.com. Randy Cruz, Denny Blanco. It's in the game on Ball is Life. We out.
Ball is life. Won yourself.
Yes, sir.